just an introduction. I'm Jessica Britton, and I'm with Pay by Phone as the Director of Product Marketing. I've been with them for nearly 4 years. Before I was in product marketing, I was in marketing comms for North America, and more recently moved into this global position. So I'm going to share a little bit about Pay by Phone and our journey, because it's a bit unique in comparison to some of the other companies you've heard today. So a little bit about Pay by Phone is that there's so many apps out there. There's so many different categories of apps. We've got lifestyle, social, utility, productivity, the news feeds, all of it. And then there's us. We're no Tinder. So what we do is we're somewhere in between a utility and a productivity app. With that being said, parking is on demand. It's a grudge payment. No one wants to do it, but nobody wants a ticket either, right? And so with that being said, we really help make sure the user accomplishes a quick and easy task like a payment, gets a reminder so they can really focus on what matters most and go on their journey so they can enjoy that date that they got from Tinder. So what's also interesting about Pay by Phone is that we have 3 different channels that we work in business. B2A is the bread and butter of our business, and that is our business to authorities. So we have municipalities, we have parking lot operators, we have universities, and in order to provide anything to B2B, which is our subscription fee to fleet management for parking expenses, or B2C, the you and us in the room that are parking, we need that A. So on top of the demand parking that we have, you can use us only when you need us, and only in the cities that we're available at. So we are actually in quite a few cities. We're in over 1,300 cities around the world in 10 countries. We have 12 languages, and we have 60 million users. So with the 12 languages, I'm sure you can imagine we have some localization challenges. And one of the things that I have found that has been most helpful for us is defining a unified brand guideline, tone of voice, and understanding that there are going to be some subtle differences between each of the countries, but overall ensuring that we have an overall same tone and voice regardless of the language we speak. So because A is such a huge part of our business, in order to grow our adoption, it means we need to be really close to our clients. And that means our cities and our municipalities need to be our partners. So I'm going to walk us through a little story where we've had some success, especially in the city of Miami, where we have grown 96 adoption, and 96% adoption there. That means there might not be another app, but instead of using coins or using credit cards, we still need to make sure that we're top of mind and we're easy and convenient to be used. So some of this has taken a little bit of a grassroots approach. So we might not be thinking digitally and programmatic in a lot of our campaigns. So one thing, in an example that we recently did, was MPA, the Miami Parking Authority, had hired a whole lot more enforcement officers. Scary business because nobody wants tickets and they're enforced to give tickets. So they also have these new enforcement officers that need to be educated about Pay by Phone. So we did a challenge with them that for team building is that they have a contest if they could get people to download the app instead of giving tickets, and getting the users to also, use the app would be entered into a contest, then it's kind of a win-win situation. So it was really interesting that we had 29 officers or 30 officers into multiple teams. They had a unique identifier, and all they did was give out postcards and ask people to download the app instead of giving them a ticket. They had 700 entries, 700 drivers. They had 311 participants into the contest, which was interesting for 29 people that did this. And then the enforcement officers got app review comments saying, "Officer Joseph, help me sign up for this app. He's the best enforcement officer." Who gets those comments, right? So this was just interesting, and how this is about, it was more about brand awareness, but it was that partnership and ensuring and engaging with that client to ensure that we're in this with them for the long haul. On another thing, through COVID, obviously we wanted to give back to local communities and the businesses and make sure that everyone thrived coming out of this. So MPA and pay by phone, teamed up with all the local restaurants in the Miami area, and we decided to purchase gift cards from them and offer this We Are Where You Dine campaign and this contest. So we did this for a 1-month contest. The program helped celebrate all the local restaurants. We did a campaign that included radio, PR, paid social, we did a custom dynamic label, we did in-app messages, we did all of it. And what we found was interesting is that we got 1,000 entries, we had 90 prizes awarded, but we had a 15% increase in transactions from the month previous. So we still, we're coming out of this, but we had just a little bit of making sure we were in the community, we're looking at the experiences of why people are parking, because ultimately you're only using us when you need to. So why not capitalize on it? Because you get an entry every time you park. And then we went bigger. Now this is an opportunity where there are things that are happening in Miami, in the South Florida area. Super Bowl's coming, right? So Super Bowl is big, and we decided to capitalize on that with Visa as a brand partner of ours, and realized that there was a lot of things that we could do to increase parking around entertainment events. We did paid social, we did influencers. We find influencers are actually really helpful around community events. We did in-app messages, we did push notifications, and we gave a curated Super Bowl package to a local resident, and then we also utilized them in our advertising to say, hey, we actually believe in this. This is true. We're giving a Super Bowl experience away. And with this, out of the South Florida area, because of this, we got a 39% increase in transactions. We also got plus 28% monthly unique users. Super Bowl is a big draw. And plus 30% monthly active users increase. So really interesting is that we're not the shiniest app. But the more that we curate these experiences, just like Jesse had mentioned, and thinking about what are people doing while they're utilizing our app and how can we target them. So an additional tactic that we recently did is we noticed that people weren't using our app all the time, or they were complaining that they were still getting tickets because they decided on the device setting that they set off their push notifications. So you weren't getting an alarm, or it gets cluttered through your front page and no one actually realizes that they got a reminder that their parking's expiring in 5 minutes. So we decided to look at that right now. We decided to do a pilot, and only 31% of people were opt-in to use SMS reminders. We noticed also in Europe, this is really popular, is that UK, Germany, and France, we get paid, we make revenue off SMS reminders. So we thought we'd do this little pilot and see how this would work. So in this new experience, we brought awareness, so you're making sure that you're getting an SMS to get a reminder you're not getting tickets. And we wanted to increase these conversions. And so it was SMS reminders and also SMS confirmations that, hey, you got your parking, you didn't have the little circle and you were in a dead Wi-Fi spot, you got that confirmed. So what we did is in our first week before the pilot, we had just over 1,200 opt-ins. We did an overlay in the front. We didn't do a push notification. We didn't do an in-app message. We did an overlay. And in the week of the pilot, we got 10,000 opt-ins, over 10,000 opt-ins. 40% of people who saw this overlay ended up opting in. So this was just our kickoff, and now we've started, just launched it in iOS, and this was just in the web app. This was the opt-in of the web app. We've just done iOS, and we had 22,000 opt-ins in the first day. So really impressive stuff. So I'm gonna wrap us up quickly is that, again, we're not the shiniest app, but we simplify the journey. When your business is not typical, cookie cutter solutions don't always work. So we really need to think about that audience and why people are using your app. And again, marketers need a dynamic approach. It's not one size fits all. Thank you.